Okay, so this is shining your boots. So first of all, this is as if a new pair of boots. What you have to do is just make sure you wipe down everything. Everything's all dirty. Make sure it's nice and clean. This kiwi cloth has been used quite a lot of times, so that's why it's all marked up. I have here polish. I got some water. If you want, you can use spit as well. I use that occasionally. I got a toothbrush, and what it's used for, it's this area right here, just to blacken, make sure it's nice and clean. I'm not really using it for anything else, and to get rid of all the dust underneath. So I would put some polish on. If it's a dirty boot, just make sure you wipe it down, get rid of all the dust, all the salt or whatever, and then you start blackening the laces area. Make sure it's nice and black. You can wear gloves while you do this. I don't. I have this just mat here, just to make sure it's nice and clean. Doesn't get on my floors. But I can do it in there. Make sure it's nice and black all over the place. I'm not really touching the toes. Okay, so the first thing you do is, as you can tell here, it looks like a leopard print. Get a nice clean spot on the cloth. Twist it. Have your finger up. Twist it so it's nice and smooth where the pad of your finger is. You dip it in water, brush it off, dip it again, brush it off. You don't want too much water. And then what you have to do is the polish. It's actually the polish that shines, not the boot. So you got to could put what you call base coats. So I usually separate the boot into several areas. So just follow the leather itself. This part as one area. So the toe, including the insole here. That's one. Second part is the instep here. That's three. And fourth is, the third part would be this side of the boot. So it's the toe that you want really shiny. So let's put some polish on. I usually, my polish has been used quite a bit, but yours might be nice and smooth in a full can. I usually just press it in and get as much polish as I can. Right now, as you can tell, it just kind of flicked out. But you don't want super amount of polish, just enough that's on your fingers, and then you're going to rub it all over the boot. Okay? Just rubbing it in onto the leather. You can tell. Usually I put it on my knee here. You're just going into a circular motion, whichever way. I have one finger. Keep on going all the way around that that first part that I said. Keep on putting it in. So right now it looks kind of gray, if you can tell. You just want to keep on moving it until the polish rubs in. So what I'm doing right now is putting a base coat. So like I said, it's the polish that shines, not the actual leather. The leather works as a background to the polish. You can technically shine a rock if you really want to. Keep on moving. If you feel like resistance from the leather or stiffness, you can breathe on it. Give some moisture and then keep on going. Like I said, right now I'm not caring about shine, I'm just caring about putting some polish onto the boot. So let me move that piece back in. So this could be a dirty job, just getting a little more polish. Like I said, I'm just trying to get polish onto the boot. If your boot's new, make sure you wear it a few times, get the creases in, because or else your boot may crack, like the polish may crack and flake off. But again, the first few times it's gonna, no matter what, it's gonna flake off just because it's new. Just because the polish is getting into certain areas, but then it's not going fully. Keep on moving, keep on moving. So you go from small circles to a little bit bigger. That's what I'm doing. Small circles, bigger, to get rid of those small circles. and then bigger circles to get rid of the small circle, the medium circles, and then you go back to small circles again until you get, just keep on moving. Can get tiring. So if you can't tell, it's starting to get a little shine anyways, which is pretty good. But the thing is, it's not a full shine. It can easily be wiped off. So just continuing. So once you get tired, you get kind of a black finger sometimes from the polish. Just wipe it off. You'll have to wash your hands later on. I would go to a new spot, because if you can tell, it gets all grainy right here. It's going to scratch the polish and it's going to get rid of your shine. Go to a new spot, dip some water, flatten out, dip some water, flatten out. You just want it moist, you don't want it super wet. Your finger should not be like, it shouldn't be super wet. I'm going to put another layer on. Okay, goes on nice and smooth. You want to smooth it all the way around. I'm just focusing on the toe right now. As a demonstration, you can later on move on to the other parts. It's the same thing, same idea. Remember, small circles to bigger circles. And bigger circles again to get rid of the small circles. So the more you do it, the more less cloudy it gets. It looks cloudy because it's the polish. And you know when you're done is when it turns black again. I've worn these boots quite a bit, so and I've polished them quite a bit. That's why you're going to see a little bit of shine. But if it's a new boot, chances are it might not get that shine. It might get a really dull shine. You just got to add these thicker layers of polish, what we call base coats, quite a few times in order to get that shine. Like I said, once you get to the point where all you see is some clouds, like big circle strokes in the boot, just breathe on it. It helps to get rid of some of those clouds. You're just using some moisture. Okay, so you can tell it's a lot shinier now. I've only done 2 coats right now, but I would say you need at least maybe 5 to 6 coats before you see this. Again, some water, damp it out, some water, damp it out. This time I'm going to use half the amount of polish. So as you can see here, that's I would say smaller than, about the size of an eraser head on a pencil. So this time I'm going to make sure I get the whole boot, I mean the whole toe area or the part. It doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of polish. That's the whole idea. Right now this is what I call the buffing. So let's say you already did the 5 or 6 coats. You can start buffing to start finishing it. Small circles all the way around. Okay. Usually when you're near the end, you get rid of all those clouds. Just breathe on it. See? Kind of shiny. Now kind of the last coat I usually do right before, for example, I already did 5-6 coats. You don't do it every time. Um, Sorry, I'm using spit this time. This is what I'm used to. I use this time very little. This is even smaller than an eraser head. Very light. And this is kind of like really the last buffing coat. Because when you do that whole part, the whole toe area, it doesn't look as if I even put any polish on. You see very little clouds. And I'm just going really tiny circles just to give it a little buff. This is like the finishing coat. This is like, you're done the boot. This is the last coat you're doing it, just to get it nice and shiny. And that's it. But again, to start off your boot, you will need, like I said, at least 5 or 6 coats of the thicker or the heavier. So pretty much the whole pad of your finger would be covered with polish, like the cloth is. But you don't want to scoop it so much. It's just enough to cover your boot. Again, if any time you feel as if your finger's not moving or the polish isn't going, just breathe on it, or you can put some water on it. I wouldn't suggest too much. That's why breathing works really good. So you would do the same for the side here, the back, and that's it. So I'll show you a comparison of the other boot. So if you compare the two boots, you can tell this is shiny. This isn't even cleaned yet. So you wipe all this down, brush the sole area here, make sure it's nice, get rid of all the dust, get rid of all the crap underneath, wipe it down, then you start on the toe, side, and I would say lastly finish off with the toe again with that little buffing coat. And that's it.